here, not at Bomas of Kenya, where the result is going to be announced because of the opaque nature of how this case has been handled. We therefore cannot take ownership on the result that is going to be announced. However, we have an open door that people can go to court. And because of the same, we urge Kenyans to be peaceful because the rule of the law is going to prevail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we can stop there. Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing that, because in our final submissions, part of the recommendations we shall be seeking from the tribunal is on what happened on that day, but we shall proceed. Mr. Reverend Thombi, when this was happening, you were present? And
yes, I was.
And did you see what was happening?
I was, sorry. Every time I remember this, it becomes a bit emotional for me. I was present at the NTC, and what you see at the podium is just 10% of what was happening across board. One of the things that you will notice is that the response of the police is a bit slow. The next thing that you will notice is that at the time that the presser is going, there's a suppression of the presidential elections being read.
Okay, let's go to the Cherera. What has been said here? Was it aired live at the NTC?
Yes, at the time that the presser was going on at the Cherera, the same was being aired at the NTC. Of course, it was extremely chaotic at that particular point, because as you can see that the chairman was violently attacked, he was being evacuated, and at the point of evacuation, all of us were in utter shock. We did not know essentially how to react or which way the nation would go to. And it's important for me to say, as a security expert, that the chronology or the trigger of violence in Kenya has always been at the announcement of the presidential elections. And so one of the things that came to me was that possibly I'll never get home again, or this country was going to burn.
Let's not go there. Let's go to paragraph 60.
Paragraph 6.
60.
60.
60, so that we restrict ourselves to the petition.
Correct.
It's a healthy break. It's just 5 minutes. We'll be back. Yes.
the electoral circle has been out of the pronouncement of the presidential election and the allegations that the elections have been rigged. And therefore, when I saw that split screen and I saw the disagreements, essentially my entire body and my soul revisited 30th of December 2007 when violence broke out following the announcement of the elections and the fact that they were rigged. And there was sporadic violence across the country, which lasted for months with thousands of Kenyans being killed. And therefore, from a security perspective, as an expert who has worked in countries that have collapsed because of the issue of contested elections, I knew, and sincerely speaking, I'm even shocked that I'm able to speak this fluently without breaking down, is that I possibly won't go back to my family. And looking at the precedents that was set in Ethiopia in 2005, Nigeria in 2007, Zimbabwe in 2008, Ivory Coast in 2010, Gabon in 2016. But when you look at Kenya, 2007, 1997, 2013, 2017, and 2022, really, we were going to get back into the same cycle that takes out the lives of many Kenyans and displaces them.
And is that the effect of the presser at Cherera, or what?
The effect of the presser at Cherera.
And was Irene Masit one of them?
Irene Masit, when you, in fact, the video clip that you have just played, Commissioner Juliana Cherera incorporates the fact that she is in agreement with Irene Masit, who had flanked her on the left side, that they were in agreement. She was there, she was present, joint statement, and indeed, Commissioner Irene Masit's, conduct, then essentially up until now, just that we don't have violence, has inflamed the country to a degree that we are more fragile. We are more fragile democracy than we were. So she would have taken us back to 2007.
Thank you. Paragraph 63, you are referring to the judgment of the Supreme Court? 63?
Yes, Counsel.
Right. Paragraph 65, E, P, and S. Paragraph 65. E, you said, just read E briefly, the first part. This, look at E, quiet,
yes.
Then look at P.
Yes, I'm there.
And look at S. What was the base? Where did you get this material from?
I borrowed this material from the affidavit of the chairperson, which was sworn under oath in a successful petition, and therefore it being credible.
So this is from the affidavit of...
This is from the affidavit of the chairman of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Mr. Ofula Chebukati.
Very well.
He gives a chronological aspect of the dealings that essentially engaged.
He will testify, so let's not go there. Thank you very much. Paragraph 66, 67. This is 66 and 67. This you are referring to the presser?
I'm referring to the presser that happened in August.
Paragraph 16. Now, last, as we come to an end, we go to the prayers, the final prayers, page 65. You see page 65?
65 of my petition is
You talk
grounds.
about why she should be removed, and number one is a serious violation of the Constitution.
Correct.
Under A, you talk of partiality and bias. In a minute, kindly explain that.
Commissioner Masit demonstrated partiality and bias conduct by agreeing to the proposal to alter the results of the presidential elections in favor of one candidate.
And you rely on
this. I rely on the sworn affidavit in that successful petition, presidential petition, that was in the High Court.
And I believe that is the same place to B on incentive and C on disowning.
It is the same place. In fact, when I was presenting at the National Assembly through the chair, I requested that the investigation expand on what the incentive involved.
Right.
And I pray that this tribunal will be able to deliver that, because
It's-
Kenyans are owed the truth.
Is it the same at D when you talk about accepting to alter results? At
Correct.
D or D for dog?
Yes.
And the citation, the authority, the law, is that the one that you cited so that we don't repeat?
In my petition, I have cited the charges, the particulars, and the laws that have been contravened on each of my 16 grounds.
Thank you very
The law
much.
is specific. They only need to find one, but I had 16,
So-
which all of them haven't been challenged so far.
Very well, it is set out there. Let's jump quickly to page 67. Misconduct,
Gross misconduct.
all right? Gross misconduct. The laws, I believe, you talk about the attempts and liaising with one faction in a minute and confirm which law you are relying on.
Article 1073 2B.
So
There-
it's just the ones that are cited there.
The
So don't-
laws that are cited here, basically the laws are contravened according to my petition. I don't seek to change or add anything.
Right. Now, let's go to quickly to D. D, you're-
2D.
yes, page 68.
Yes.
So I believe these affidavits that were filed before the Supreme Court.
Correct. These are affidavits that were filed in the Supreme Court. The swearing affidavits in support of petitions challenging the presidential elections.
And this is the affidavit. Irene, are you aware whether Irene Masit filed an affidavit?
Yes, I am.
You're aware.
I am aware.
And that's the one you're relying upon?
That is the one I'm relying upon.
Very well. Let's go to incompetence. Incompetence, I believe you're relying from A all the way to G and the laws set out there so that we don't repeat.
The laws contravened are cited there. I don't wish to change. And again, part of the reliance is through the affidavit of the chairman of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission,
Yes.
Mr. Wefula Chepkati.
All right. Now, in terms of the affidavit, volume 2, it's the affidavit, page 168, the affidavit signed by Irene Masit, 168. Election petition number 005 of 2022, 167, 168.
Yes.
Right, page 169, prepared by
The advocate,
yes,
Oma J and Associates.
page 175. Who's the maker of that affidavit?
175. Sorry, what's your question?
Once it's made, you can see it's made by Irene Masit,
Yes.
and if you go through it, 192 is the facts where you're talking where she is saying she supports a petition.
Correct. I was challenging the election.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and the members. I think I can leave the rest to cross-examination.
Any question, Council?
Why do you call yourself a Reverend Ndumbe?
I've been ordained as a reverend.
Are you an ordained? At times you call yourself a bishop. Are you Reverend Bishop?
I've never referred to myself as a bishop, and I'm ordained reverend through the ordainment of Bishop, through the ordainment of Bishop Eric Mwangi, Newbridge City Chapel.
Did you attend theology class?
Essentially, I'm a theologian.
Did you attend theology? Do you have a theology degree?
No. Through the chair, I don't have a theology degree.
call yourself a security expert. What are your professional credentials to be a security expert?
I have served in the security field.
Do you have a degree in security studies?
Essentially,
I'm saying, do you have a degree in security studies?
no.
Do you have a security in military science?
I have certifications for the same.
Do you have a degree in military science?
I have not served in military. I have certifications of the same within my areas of professional background.
So again, you've not served in any military?
I have served in organizations that offer the
Have you
services for the last
Have you served
15
in the
years.
military, Ndumbi? Are you an officer? Have you served in the military as an officer?
I have not served in the military as an officer, but I have done operations with militaries.
Ndumbi, I'm
the
asking you
chair.
questions. Don't ask yourself your own questions. You call yourself governance expert. Again, have you studied governance in the university?
No, I have not.
Have you studied law?
No, I have not.
What degree do you have, Reverend? Do you have a university degree?
Essentially, I have a certification
I'm
from
saying,
the
do you have
security
a
field.
no. I'm saying, do you have any university degree?
Once you understand the rankings within...
Reverend, I'm just
allow
asking
me to
you.
answer through the chair.
No. Do you have a university degree?
I have security certifications within my field that
Chairman,
equate to
I'm just asking you a
degrees.
simple question. Do you have a university degree? Anything?
Yeah, so that we can make progress.
Yeah. Do you have a university degree?
No, I don't.
You were contesting for what seat in the last elections?
Nairobi Senate seat.
Nairobi?
Nairobi Senator seat
Oh,
in 2017. 2017.
not 20. I thought you contested. You didn't contest in 2022?
No, I did not contest in 2022.
Okay. What was your role in UDA in 2022 elections?
I don't belong to the party. I had no role in UDA.
Were you appearing on media throughout the election period?
Yes, I was.
So when you're appearing on one side, I mean in the media, were you supporting the election of Raila Odinga?
No, I was not.
Were you supporting the election of William Ruto?
Essentially, my role in the media was not as a support of the UDA candidate. Was, as I had said earlier, was to give, analysis within the political profile of the entire country. So I would commentate on issues that touch on Azimio, on UDA, and the rest of the other candidates.
Do you work, Reverend? Do you have a salary?
Yes, I have a security company, and therefore that's where I get my revenue from.
Bombers and the NTC, is it one and the same place?
Bomas hosts the National Tallying Center.
So where were you seated all this period? You say you were basically at NTC for the entire duration of the elections.
Correct. Essentially, when I was giving my analysis, I was either some analyses were done internally inside the NTC, and some were done within where the media stations had put their stations for analysis.
How big is Bombers of Kenya?
I don't know the specific acreage,
It's big.
but the area that the whole of this operation was running is basically perhaps 50 meters by 50 meters. It was all condensed within the same place, other than where the parking was.
How many people were at the place NTC and Bombers? 50, 500, 5,000 at any given day?
At any given day, I believe perhaps the largest population that was there was perhaps on the 13th and the 15th, which did not max to more than 2,000. The rest of the days, as I was there, other than the plenary and the various parties that were having their agents on the floor, perhaps conclusively was around about 400 to 600.
So you used to go to Bomas from what time to and leave what time? What time would you arrive at the NTC?
I would arrive at the NTC at most of the times midday. Sometimes I would leave at 3 a.m., other times in the morning.
So when do you sleep?
There was hardly, well, I would, it's minimum hours of sleep.
For how many days? This like from 8, 9 August to 16 August, 15 August?
I was involved in the training of election agents. So perhaps maybe for about 5 months I had minimal sleep. I was engaged across the country training election agents.
Bomas.
For
Bomas for how long?
For Bomas, throughout the process I was there.
From which day to which day?
From, I believe, from the 9th to the 15th.
Okay. So 9 to 15, that's about 6 days. Basically, you without sleeping.
I did not sleep entirely.
Yeah, with not sufficient sleep and much.
Not sufficient.
Let me just ask, Reverend. So for these days, you aren't sleeping, you aren't basically having enough comfort of your home. You're able to see all these events. From you see people entering the gate, you see people what's happening inside the NTC, you see what's happening on the screen. You understand?
I have, as a security expert, I've done cross-border operations that I did not sleep for 14 days. Through my training, I'm conditioned not to make proper judgments. But essentially, at least every day, I used to have 6 hours of sleep because I'd leave in the morning and at least come by midday. So 6 hours of sleep is adequate sleep. Plus, there was a lot of food in Bomas, so replenishments and all that.
I don't want to cast aspersion on you, Reverend, but do you know the field of psychology?
Expound.
I mean, do you believe in your own alternative facts?
I wish I would produce my own facts, but something that is within the public purview. You can watch videos captured within all media stations. Other than the fact that even if I was blind, God forbid, essentially everybody else would say that they saw the commissioner present. Thank God I was there physically. And being an analyst, you're required to take record of all facts so that at least you can adduce them.
Do you know
factually.
the meaning? Do you know the word omnipresent? You're a reverend, omnipresent.
Yes, but I don't have that capacity. Only God has.
But in your statement, what you've told us, you were at the gate seeing how many cars are coming in. You're seeing who was fighting in which place. You're seeing who was where. Do you want us to believe you, Reverend?
From my perspective, whoever went us through the walls is a thief. I used to use the gate all the time. And so whenever I'm entering, then I will have sight to the dealings and the pleadings at the entrances. Essentially, you would have to have, there are several levels of clearances. There was a security screening, essentially aspects of crime and counterterrorism. And then essentially they'll have to find whether you're on the list, whether you're on the invited list, or many of those things. So there were certain levels of clearances. So within the entrance, you'll spend perhaps a minimum of about 5 minutes to 10 minutes.
Where did you study, whether it's certification or anything, terrorism? Which college, which place, which country?
The organization that I used to work with used to give us studies through the UK.
Did you attend it UK or in Kenya? Where did you attend your training?
Kenya.
Where in Kenya? Is there a college in Kenya for terrorism training?
For?
Terrorism, anti-terrorism training in Kenya. Which one did you attend?
No, essentially it's through the UK, through the organization that I used to work with.
That's online classes?
Well, online and on-ground training. I've done several operations which are on record. I believe that together with DOD, UNSCF within the border, essentially, cumulatively, around about over 10 years of such operations, which are on record through the country.
Do you know the meaning of expert in law, Dennis?
A
Have
master,
you read?
of,
Have you? Because I think you
a master of a who
Have you read the Evidence Act on who is an expert?
The first person who started the legal profession never went to any school.
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, have you studied what an expert is in the law?
Is a master of a field.
Your entire petition is runs from page 42 to 72 of volume 1. When you go to the allegations against Commissioner Irene Masit for serious violation of the Constitution and the law, that's at page 65. Basically, you are making allegations against her that she was incentivized to alter the results. You say, where do you base that, your evidence on that? Where's your evidence?
From the affidavit of the chairman, which was an affidavit adduced in court.
Okay, Supreme Court.
Yes.
You've gone again to gross misconduct. Again, basically, the allegations are unlawful attempt to alter results, and of course, the other sequential grounds you are relying on. Again, it's the affidavit of Wafula Chebukati. You're relying on. And then the issue of incompetence, again, the first ground again is agreeing to alter the results again. And again, I believe it's again based on the affidavit of Chebukati.
Well,
have you read the Supreme Court judgment?
Yes, and
No, have you read the Supreme Court judgment?
yes, I have, and part of the Supreme Court judgment.
Reverend, have you read the Supreme Court judgment?
Yes, and I was referring you to a point in my petition.
No. I'm just asking the question.
Through the chair, yes.
Yeah, I don't need your answer. When the affidavits you're relying on, all of them, which are filed in the documents by the lead counsel, all these affidavits were filed in the Supreme Court. All these affidavits were filed in the Supreme Court. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. The Supreme Court was seized of all these affidavits when it made its judgment.
Correct.
When you filed your petition before the National Assembly, did you annex any documents? Did you annex these affidavits? I'm just asking, did you annex the affidavits before National Assembly?
Under Section 3K of the Petitions to Parliament Procedure
Reverend,
Act, number 2022-2012, the evidence was there, the prohibitions within the standing orders.
We'll deal with that in the submissions. Your lead counsel is
You're asking me a question.
He will-
Through the
and,
chair, allow me to answer effectively.
no, it's the answer I want, not the answer you want to give me. Did you file documents in support of your petition?
Under Section 3K, the Procedure Act prohibits me from, attaching letters, affidavits, or any other documents annexed to
Okay,
it.
because you think you know the law. Let me show you standing order number 2. Just getting my standing order for Parliament. Reverend, standing order 230, 231B, 231B of the standing order. Just read it. B, read B. Just read B. Read loudly.
230
Show him. 231B.
B. May contain affidavits or other documents annexed to it.
No, that's it. That's sufficient. May contain. Just
Affidavits or other documents annexed to it.
That's a petition. I was just showing you that. Just bring it back. Just finally, in your statement, which you filed, which is on your statement is from page 12 to 18 of the list of witness and witness statements, volume 1, the one dated 8th of December 2022. Your statement has 31 paragraphs.
Correct.
Show me one paragraph, just one paragraph, or even two, where you refer to Commissioner Masit by name. Sure.
The petition.
In the paragraphs 1 to 31, your statement. The allegations against Masit.
The petition. In the matter of the petition for the removal of
Dennis.
Irene Cherop Masit.
Dennis.
So
Dennis,
all
yes.
those allegations and the 16 grounds are cited towards her.
I'm not disputing that, Dennis. I'm just asking you. In the statement, you're relying on the witness statement. You know you are making now allegations, 31 paragraphs of allegations. I'm just telling you, show me one paragraph in which you are specifying that this Ms. Commissioner Irene Masit did this, read the statement, or did this, or altered the results. I mean, you've made allegations. You've made 3 allegations against my client. So I want in your own witness statement, where now you are tying my client to the allegations you made.
As I said that the entire petition is towards her,
You've
but
asked
I'll
that my
give you a
client be
reference.
removed.
Allow me to give you a reference.
Dennis, you've asked
through
that
the
my
chair.
client be removed.
For example, look at 28. In the 28A, it says that the 4 commissioners issued a statement at the Cherera Hotel. When you look at the evidence provided and thereabout and what is in the public purview, she was amongst the 4. She was present
You know, Dennis,
in the statement.
Peter is the lead counsel. He'll make submissions of that. What I'm just asking you is, where in this statement have you mentioned Commissioner Irene Masit in the statement? This is a criminal case against my client. You want my client to be found guilty of violating the Constitution, and I'm telling you, where is the specificity? Where are you mentioning my client played a part in altering elections or in doing whatever you're saying she did? It is your case.
And through the chair, I answered that the entire petition touches her specifically and names her explicitly. There is no other way that she can be able to be extracted from this. There are times that even when you look at the prayer in 31A, it mentions her explicitly, Irene Cherop Masit. I deem that that is the client that you're referring to.
Finally, Dennis, with tremendous respect, do you, as again, I asked if you have your alternative reality. So I'm asking you again with profound respect again, whether, I don't know, you've created your own world reality which is not supported by facts, by evidence. I mean, you basically, I don't know, suffer from illusion and the delusion. I don't know. I have no questions because Dennis, with tremendous respect.
I have explained through my petitions that I was there in person in all the dealings.
You call yourself
I saw
Dennis,
what I saw, and
you call
essentially,
yourself a governance expert, you have no expertise. You call yourself a military expert, you have no expertise. You call yourself a terrorism expert, you have no expertise. You call yourself a reverend, you have no training, theology training. Do you know yourself, Dennis?
evidentially, 16 years of high-level work within various fields is evidence. And I have been ordained, I have a certificate of ordainment. When you receive calling from the Lord, essentially, you're not with anybody there, that's Him. So you may want to disqualify me. I'm a simple man. I may not be as high and mighty as you are, but I'm a common man. But essentially, I have no other country to go to. I have to protect my country. Call me what you want to call me. But I want to be able to raise my children. I want to be able to love my wife. I want to be able just to do the simple things that I cannot be able to get a visa and protections to the United States or any other country. I have nowhere else to run. I only have this place. Even if I was nothing, I was a pauper in the streets. Imagine I am nothing. Take everything away from me. But you can't take Kenya away from me. You can't take the peace that I want. So imagine just I'm a common citizen. But I was there in Bomas. I saw what I saw. And my petition is essentially pegged on the fact that my own existence in this country was threatened.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions. Just to say that Dennis Tumbi is not worthy of the credibility to be a witness in this tribunal. I think at most, with tremendous respect, it's just for this tribunal to make its finding, this evidence not worth what's written on. I don't want to say, but I think it's just a fraudster.
Mr. Chairman,
You say that? You want to say that? What did you say, Council?
I'm
the
saying
last one?
in the finding, you say...
No. There's some...
Yeah. I'm saying...
The last word you said, that he's a...
legal term, fraudster. Because why I'm saying so, Chairman, with respect...
Excuse me.
What?
You can't say that about a witness.
No, what I'm saying...
You can't say that about a Kenyan. That's too strong a language for this tribunal.
But I'm giving you the foundation there, Chairman.
That
he calls him, all those expertise calls himself, and they are not true. What is that? The word is fraud. It's deception, which is a legal term. It's deception. Yeah, what I'm saying is call yourself a terrorism expert, no expertise, governance expert. You can't call yourself a governance expert, no training. You can't call yourself he's called himself a...
Based on his answers,
Yeah.
you'll be asking us to make a finding.
That's what I was saying.
But you cannot yourself make that finding.
No, I'm not making that finding. I'm saying I'll ask the tribunal to make a finding. That's what I said. I'll ask the tribunal to make a finding. I rephrased. I'm sorry, Chairman. I'll make submissions on why you should make that finding. That is the role of, that's your jurisdiction, your power. That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Chairman, I'll refrain from answering what my colleague, Mr. Kipkorila, said, and so that I'm not diverted, I go straight to the examination. Mr. Reverend Tumbi.
Yes.
You are a citizen of which country?
Citizen of Kenya. By birth. Deliberated on my petition. I was there all days of the process.
Thank you. Now, on the issues at the National Talent Center, where some hard terminologies which are not supported by any documents have been used, is your evidence based on what you saw, hearsay, or what you heard from others?
My evidence is based on what I saw. And where I have borrowed from the petition of the chairman of the Electoral Boundaries and Commission, Mr. Wafula Chebukati, is because it touches on dealings that A, were exercised outside the NTC, and B, at the backdrop of their offices.
Right.
Everything that happened externally within the plenary and outside, I was a witness to it.
You were primary witness to it.
Correct.
Right. And I don't believe there was a qualification of a degree to enter Bomas.
Not necessarily, but
Right.
interestingly is
Okay.
that
Let's move from there.
for 10 years I have been employed within that.
Your statement, paragraph 31.
Yes.
What does it say?
My statement?
Paragraph 31.
Paragraph 31, I make the prayers.
Before the prayers, just start.
Before the prayers, is that on 31?
Yes, 31.
Based on the foregoing, I pray that the tribunal...
Based on what you've said above, yes,
Based on the foregoing, I pray that the tribunal considers the petition that...
Okay,
A. The tribunal be satisfied that the petition discloses sufficient grounds for the removal of the four commissioners.
Of the four commissioners.
Of the four commissioners.
Who are the four commissioners?
The four commissioners are: number 1, Juliana Wonge Cherera; number 2, Francis Madenge Wanderi; number 3, Irene Cherop Masit; number 4, Julius Abonyo Nyangaya.
Paragraph 28 and 29. 28A. What does it say?
Paragraph 28A says, the four commissioners issued a statement at the Cherera Hotel on the 16th of August 2022.
Very well. The four commissioners, right?
Correct.
Now, the same thing happens below. You're mentioning the four commissioners. 29D. 29D?
Sorry?
29D. Do or
29D.
D? Yes, D for dog.
The four commissioners intentionally acted in a manner which could have caused genocide and skirmishes in this nation.
Who are these four commissioners? Are they the ones in paragraph 31A?
Correct.
Is
The four commissioners, as I have said.
Is Irene Masit one of those four?
Irene Masit is indeed one of those commissioners.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Chairman and members, I rest my case on my first witness unless the members have any question for him.
Members, do you have any question you'd like to ask? They don't appear to have, so it's an appropriate point for us to adjourn to tomorrow, 9 a.m.
I agree, but for good order, I am subject to concurrence with my colleague. We have 5 bundles of documents, and as we are proceeding in the matter, my view is we mark them as bundle number 1, 2 to 5, so that it's good. Even when you're cross-examining, you say bundle 1, bundle 2, but all the way. They are marked volume 1 all the way to 5, for good order.
Do you have any problem?
No, I don't have a problem, Mr. Chairman.
Fine. It's so marked.
Very well. Next is I would seek that an order this day, today, that the representatives of 2 facilities, Busem Limited, who are the managers that operate Yaya Towers, to be summoned to appear, and Nairobi Serena Hotel because of the clip, and they would wish to have an order from the tribunal for them to appear. They're willing to appear. We'll seek that there be an order to that effect.
Yes, sir.
I don't have an issue. I mean,
Yeah, except we will make the order, except that in terms of timing, you do not want to drag them here for them to
Yeah,
wait.
because we still have witnesses tomorrow, the three witnesses.
Yes, once I have the order,
yes.
the issue of the date when they will come, we'll talk, because
we'll
tomorrow
manage.
we have three
We'll
other petitioners.
We'll
We
manage
still had intended to bring on Wednesday the officials of IDC, and depending on what transpired, there was the issue of protected witnesses. I don't want to address it in openly here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That's fine. We're also trying to find out, Mr. Donald, I've never set eyes on your client. And this process is going on. Allegations made against your client. Evidence being received about your client. She's the subject of this inquiry. Do you want to say something about that?
Mr. Chairman, she exercised her right not to physically attend.
Not to?
Physically attend. Not for any, I mean, she does, I mean, not to attend physically, but she's not prejudiced in any way by not attending. Your own rules.
That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
That's
yeah, your
fine.
own yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you very much.